Hey guys, this is Dirt Poor TV. A lot of you guys have been asking about a walk around again of this Honda Talon. It's actually Justin's machine, and he's going to tell you a little bit about it. So what do we got going on here, Justin?
Well guys, 2019 Honda Talon X. We put a EMP windshield on the front, and the windshield comes with the wiper, and it's a hand-operated wiper. And what I did to the windshield is I took it to the local window tint guy, and I put a 50% window tint on that. It's got little vents. These unscrew, and they just pop out. It's actually kind of a nice window. Those come out for a little bit of vent in the summertime. It was quite a bit cheaper at the time than the Honda window. I think it's a pretty decent window. After the windows, what I did was we did a heater up front. This is the Inferno heater, and the Inferno heater mounts right in behind all that. I don't know if you can really see in there. Let me pop one of these out real quick. Inferno heater's kind of down in there. That was kind of pricey, but it's worth it. We did a MaxStat inline thermostat with it. So we didn't run any coolant lines from the heater core to the back like what they really say, but this is the MaxStat inline thermostat. That allows, basically, your coolant comes from the motor after the thermostat on the motor opens, and this thermostat directs all the water to your heater core until this thermostat opens up, and then it directs it into the radiator also. So it will never overheat, anything like that. So you get the hottest possible heat out of your heater core. We were running, after we had installed it, we were running like 150 degrees, I think, out of the vents.
Which we have a whole video of that too. Yep. Also on our channel of the install.
The heater went in, we put these Honda upper doors on. The upper doors are really nice doors. These, there's a little bit of labor involved. You got to take some bolts loose, take some bolts out. It wraps around the top and around the front with Velcro, all the way around the roll bar.
Try to get a shot of the other side.
The other side there kind of shows you the inside. These windows zip completely out, which I really like. Just like that. So you can still run it in the summertime and not have to take the upper door assembly off. It would probably, if you're going to take that upper door assembly off, you probably have an hour involved taking these completely out and putting it back to stock how it was. So that's pretty simple there.
And you tinted those too, didn't you?
What I did, these actually come clear, and this is it's a static cling window tint that I found for like home use, for like your windows, your sliding doors in your house or something like that.
Gila was the name.
Yep, the Gila, and it's actually a pretty dark window tint. Nighttime it's pretty dark in there, but nothing a light bar or something might solve. The lower doors, those we found on eBay. I'm not exactly for sure who makes them, but these are the style that you have to cut a notch in the bottom of your door. And after we ordered them, I had second thoughts and almost sent them back, but then I decided to mount them. I'm really not impressed with them for the simple fact that I had to shim them, and they really don't close tight against the bottom how they should. The other ones, all the other ones I've seen, they kind of they're angled up top, they bolt flat, you don't have to cut any holes, And then they come down and they kick out and back in, and they match this body line really good. So maybe someday I might take those off, probably not, I don't know. The other thing that I did was I changed all the tires and rims out. These are aftermarket rims. They got a 5.2 offset. They're 14-inch rims, and the Talon comes stock with a 15-inch rim. So a lot of people talking like there's not enough room or whatever, but with a 5.2 offset, there's plenty of room on the back sides of them. Those are a 30-inch Maxxis Rockzilla, and they're really nice tires.
30 by 10 by 14s.
Yep. The lug nuts that I used on it, I found those on Amazon Prime. They're a spiked lug nut. They're 60 millimeters long, and it's an M12 by 1.5 thread pitch. Those lug nuts are, from what I can tell, they're aluminum. So when I take them on and off, I've had a buddy that has ran aluminum lug nuts for a long time. He doesn't run them down with an impact, he runs them tight, and then he takes a torque wrench and torques them down to the specs, which the specs on this is like 80 foot-pounds, I think. Front, the Mud Buster, we also kind of have a video on that, the Mud Buster fenders. We put fender extensions on the front, and this fender extension is for the Talon X. But if you go to Mud Buster, you can actually purchase, if you have offset tires that stick out, bigger tires, you can put the Honda Talon R model Mud Busters on, and they actually stick out a couple more inches, and they come all the way up to here. These here are just kind of short. The R's come out like this, and then they come all the way down, and they look really nice. I didn't learn that till after I put these on. Otherwise, I probably maybe have went with the R model fender extensions. The rear, they have the mud guards that I ordered. The mud guards go in here nice and neat. Of course, that's in that video also of the installation and the unboxing. These have a big hole in here, basically, that goes all the way into the cab. And if you look in here, I kind of covered it up with a little modification I did on my own. I put a piece of thin rubber in here, and if you don't have that mud guard in the back, you can actually see your tire right through that hole. So I just kind of figured, you know, if you're in the mud and stuff, you're going to get a lot of mud up through those holes. So I put this down first before I had the Mud Busters on. But I still kind of like this because I think it maybe helps with the draft a little bit, stuff like that.
Probably dust too.
Yeah,
keeps down on the dust.
Helps keep the dust down. I also done a little modification on the other side there. This was leftover rubber from the front, which I didn't talk about yet, but I just cut a piece out and I covered up my gas cap. Kind of keeps mud and stuff out of the hole. If we go to the front, this piece here is actually an aftermarket piece that I found off of eBay. This guy makes these, they're like 20 bucks a piece. The factory rubber here only goes to like right here, and then it covers this side. Well, this one here goes all the way across, kind of covers the tunnel just a little bit, helps with the draft inside the machine. And then I made another piece that goes around the steering shaft, and then the throttle return spring and all that comes up right in here. There's a huge hole going down through the firewall, and you get a lot of air in through there. So this is all kind of homemade here, but it turned out okay, I think. I just used the factory push pins. I kind of wrapped it around here, went down there and zip tied. That kind of closes that whole hole up so you don't get as much air into the cab. Back windshield. It's a tinted vented windshield. It's polycarbonate. so it's not scratch resistant. I wasn't too impressed with that, but it is a nice looking window. Just take care of it, you know, wash it with water first, get all the mud off. That's basically what they say. But I can see after time you're going to get scratches. I can already, this thing's new and you can already see little scratches here and there in it. I don't know if they make one that's scratch resistant, but this one here was about $170. Other than that, we got the rear fender extensions. Those turned out really nice. I've seen pictures of machines with no fender extensions and the mud just completely cakes up all the way through here. Covers the whole back windshield. I've even seen mud just piled up 2-3 inches on here. And then I've seen pictures with these on afterwards, same machine, and they don't get any mud up here. So I really think that those Mud Buster fender extensions are a pretty good setup. Other than that, I only have about 100 miles on it. I still have to do my first service, but I'm very impressed with the machine. It shifts awesome. Something that I'm going to add to it, of course, is a light bar on the front. I got a radio from Thunder Buckets, just a small radio with some 6-inch speakers and a head unit. I also put wheel spacers on the back. On these machines, if you have all the same offset, you're going to end up being almost 3 inches narrower in the back if you have all the same offset rims. So all these rims are 5.2 offset. Put 1.5 inch spacers in it, and that will set it out. I think we ended up at, what was it, 67 3/4 or something like 67.
We were a quarter shy, were we?
It was a 1/4 inch
shy,
narrower in
yeah.
the back than what
So an 1/8 inch on each side.
Yeah.
We were,
so you know, it's almost identical by the time you're done. And with that being said, with 14-inch rims with the wheel spacers, that gives you all kinds of room in here. Well, I say all kinds. I'm sure some guys will say, you know, that's still not near enough room, but for what I do with this machine, it's basically road riding, not much else than that, you know. So there's plenty of room back there inside those rims. Even without the spacers, it's still bolted up fine, but you had about a 1/2 inch space. Other than that, pretty excited with the machine. It performs really well. Never had any issues with it yet, but I only have 100 miles on it.
yeah, it looks really good. But we have another machine here that we'll do a walk around on when we get cleaned up. This is Justin's other one. It's this Can-Am. What year is this, Justin?
This is that's a 2017 Can-Am XMR.
And we'll do a walk around on it. That's the one he gets crazy in. The Honda's still brand new. So check us out at Dirtpour TV. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.